diffusers use electricity, but these don't plug in at all. And this one, can you tell what this used to be? Today I'm turning ordinary ceramics into passive essential oil diffusers that work naturally. Some of these worked incredibly well, and one of them kind of surprised me. I'm gonna go over how to make them, which clays work best, and which technique works the best. And I'm even going to show you a trick to where you can actually put some glaze on these and they'll still absorb the oil. And if you want to stick around to the end, I will even show you which glazes I used for the containers. A passive diffuser works because the porous clay, it'll absorb the oil, and then as it sits, it releases the scent into the air. An unglazed clay works perfect for this because it breathes. But not all clay bodies work the same in this test. Some of them worked really well, some of them not so hot. For this experiment, I used slip cast molds, press molds, and a little bit of hand building. That's what you want to call it. So I chose molds that had very interesting shapes. I used a shell, bowls, plates, and even a retro ashtray. The thing about press molds, besides being super easy and cheap, you don't even have to buy anything. You can use things that you've sculpted or found items, is that you can make anything you want to match your decor. So you are not stuck with whatever they're selling you in the store and just have to kind of design around it. You can literally just design your own. Once everything is dry, you're gonna need to bisque fire these. For passive diffusers, you want the clay to be porous. So firing even lower than normal, which is an 0.4, try bisquing at an 0.6. It's going to make them absorb the oil just a lot better. Now, when it comes to the diffuser pieces yourself, you can get really creative. As you can see, I left some raw and I put hints of color on others. And some of them, I glazed the whole front. The back stays raw, so it will absorb oil. And adding oil to the back, it's gonna hide the discoloration, because over time, the oil going in this clay will discolor it. So if you wanna keep everything looking pretty, flip it over and add your oils back here. So here's a pro tip. I wouldn't just use underglaze on these. I know it might be tempting because you think, well, it's mostly clay and pigment. The problem is, with the amount of oils that's gonna be going on here, you're probably gonna get some flaking. So just stick to your colored glazes and wipe them back and just use them minimally. Now let's not forget about these cute little things. These were not glazed. These were bisque fired at 0.6, and they're just regular low fire earthenware that I poured into a slip mold. Now on these, I used a acrylic stain, a Doc Holiday, I do believe. Stain, you can also use regular acrylics. And then I sprayed on the top of them with a clear spray paint, and that is because of all the oils. I want it to stay on here. I don't want it to flake off. I put a piece of tape here when you're spraying to make sure that the raw clay shows through. This is not my favorite. I thought it was really gonna be cute. I did the tray to kind of look like, you know, garden and everything. And the idea was cute, but it doesn't throw a scent. My favorite ended up being the shell dish and, well, both of the mermaid molds, really. I think that they complement the dish really well. They fit in there. So getting the proportion size of your diffuser pieces and the tray is really important. I did have two that kind of surprised me. One was the ashtray. I didn't think I would like it as well as I did, but especially for the small things, like I like it like this with the little teapot and all of the buttons filling the other compartment. I think that it's adorable and it would look good in any bathroom, and it's small enough. Now this reservoir right here, you can actually fill this with oil and then put something over it if you want a lot of scent. So this double compartment to me really does work. That's adorable. The one that kind of shocked me that I thought was gonna do good and it didn't is gonna be the slip cast. The ones that were hollow, believe it or not, they didn't do so well. And I don't know why. Maybe because of the paint on the top, what stopped the throw. I'm not sure. If you got any ideas, let me know. I won't be going further with this unless I don't do a full paint. If I just paint a little bit on the top like I glazed these, then it would probably work really good. Or maybe it's just the fact that it's slip cast. I don't know. I mean, you could still smell it. It just wasn't as strong as some of these. And my sneaking suspicion is it just doesn't hold as much oil. If you want to buy one of these diffusers that I made, I'll put them in like little bundles. But once they're gone, they're gone. It's not something I'm going to offer on my Etsy or anything. This will only be for sale down below, like where all the t-shirts are. That's actually my website. You can go there and you can get the stuff that we make in the classes. But what I'd really prefer is y'all make your own press molds. Make your own molds and make your own, and then show me. You can go over here to community, which I'll put a link down in the description, and you can post your own pictures of the stuff that you make. I would love to see them, and you can start, a conversation with the rest of the community. Got a lot of good ideas from these. This was really fun to kind of engineer and figure out what worked and what didn't work. As far as the ashtray goes, if you have any of these molds, they are super easy to transition. Basically, pour the mold and pour it thick, and then just smooth the place where the cigarettes are supposed to sit, smooth that down. Then you have a multi-compartment tray, which is really cool. If you were curious about some of the glazes that I used on these, stick around, and the last 2 or 3 minutes of the video, I'm gonna go over the glazes. On these, I use the Unique Color Series from Trinity Ceramic. I'll leave the link down below if you wanna go check them out. I don't get a commission or anything, I just really like their stuff. They're based in Dallas, Texas. Really pretty, very seashell, ocean. On this one, this cute little converted ashtray, I used the Jungle Gems Crystal Glaze, the S2714 Herb Garden. This is still in production. I know I use a lot of stuff that's been retired, but this, you can still buy it. We just got this. This one was so cool, and I really enjoyed it. It looks good with the mermaids. This one is Mako Jungle Gem Crystal Glaze S2712 Monsoon Seas, and yes, they still sell this one. Now, this one leaves kind of a texture. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it leaves a texture in the bowl, which just adds extra interest. This one did the same thing. It left kind of a texture on the surface. Love the color. This one right here is a Mako Jungle Gems Crystal Glaze. This is CG991 Mountain Moss. Looked really, really good with with all the vegetables, I thought. Now this cool little dish, the black is just the Saks Shiny Black 416950 opaque. And on the outside I use a Spectrum Glaze, which is a Golden Halo 151. Now usually the Golden Halo turns really, really gold, like metallic. On this piece it did not. Not sure why. I probably fired it a little too hot. The tiny little personal diffuser. These weren't glazed at all, but this orange, this is a Mako Stroke and Coat Wonder Glaze SP275 Speckled Orange Peel. Really, really nice. That's what it looks like on the terracotta, and this was just plain white clay. But it's a really stable glaze, and I love the texture of it. Now this cool little thing, I wish they still made this glaze. Maybe if enough of us holler at them, they'll start making it again. This is the Jungle Gems CG775 Foxfire. I have a ton of it, but I use it sparingly, and they don't make this one either. For the beautiful seashell, I love this glaze. Look at that. This, and yeah, they still sell this. The Mako Stroke and Coat. This is going to be the SP254, the Speckled Vanilla Dip. It is really nice, and it's a super stable glaze, too. Doesn't run. 2 really kind of thin coats does it, but then I blended it. They don't make this anymore, but any sort of apricot or flesh colored, all you have to do is put it in the bottom and just make sure it's got a natural gloss to it. If not, you'll have to go over it. Probably with just a little tiny bit of this. This is the essential oils that I use, not only in my house, but when I offer them as a free gift, when someone orders my stuff to my customers. I don't let them pick the scent because everybody just wants kind of the lavender and the sandalwood, so then you're kind of left with everything else. But there's some really, really good ones in here. We got grapefruit, lemon, oh, just all sorts of them. There's a cedar wood, which looks pretty interesting. And here it tells you what they claim that each scent does for you. But this is a pretty good set. I will leave an affiliate link down below, along with affiliate links for the glazes that I use. An affiliate link just means that if you purchase from my link, it doesn't cost you anything, but I may get a little bit for it. Thanks for hanging out with me today. If you like what you saw, catch one of these videos, and there's lots of other really fresh, little strange ideas coming your way here the next couple of weeks. I'm working on a lot of videos, and I'll see you there.